bleeding out of his ear. He's bleeding out of his ear. Get a medic. What the walking up on me? I'm moving down. Grab him. Y'all don't want this shit. Back up. Back up. Get off the step.
A striking sign of the times at the U.S. Capitol. This is the first time in 2 months that Senate Democrats gathered together because of distancing measures for COVID-19, returning to Washington to remember George Floyd, pausing for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, some kneeling for the length of time Floyd's neck was pressed to the ground. Further down Pennsylvania Avenue, a defiant tone. The Attorney General under fire for his decision to aggressively disperse peaceful protesters in front of the White House Monday, all for a presidential photo op.
I did not know that he was going to do that until later in the day, after our plans were well underway to move the perimeter. So there was no correlation between our tactical plan of moving the perimeter out by 1 block.
This is what we saw on Tuesday. Tomorrow's anti-racism protest was expected to dwarf it.
As of this morning, that had escalated to a potential 10,000 protesters turning up.
Its popularities proved the problem, so the premiers stepped in and police applied to the Supreme Court to have it banned.
This is because the protesters could not guarantee adherence to the health orders. They could not guarantee safe social distancing.
Protesters have vowed to turn up regardless. Health orders allow up to 500 people to gather in a public place if they're socially distanced, and police plan to enforce it.
As the 501 turns up, we would be giving them a direction to leave the area.
Disturbing new details tonight about the chief suspect in the disappearance of Maddie McCann. Charles Croucher tells us the German pedophile confessed to a friend during a drinking session that he knew all about what happened to the little girl.
She was the stolen face of innocence. Police say he may just be the face of evil. Christian Bruckner, a 43-year-old German man, a serial sex offender. He's been charged with rape, child abuse and possessing child pornography, as well as burglary, drug dealing, driving unlicensed and under the influence.
Now, the man's in prison, so you can take it as read that he will have been interviewed at length.
Bruckner was in Portugal the night Maddie McCann disappeared.
Just hearing that a search is underway for a 3-year-old British girl who's gone missing in the Algarve area of Portugal.
The former head of the British intelligence agency MI6 has said that he believes that the novel coronavirus, which has claimed more than 388,000 lives across the globe, actually started in a lab as an accident. In an interview with a media organisation within the UK, Sir Richard Dearlove said, and I quote, "The virus started as an accident." Richard Dearlove cited a paper published this week by a Norwegian-British research team. The research suggests that the virus did not emerge naturally but was man-made by Chinese scientists. The study claims to have discovered clues within COVID-19's genetic sequence suggesting key elements that were inserted and may not have evolved naturally. Sir Richard Dearlove expanded on his take on the research and said, and I quote, "I read the paper and it has been written many times. It is written by two very knowledgeable scientists and it is an important contribution to the debate about how the virus evolved and broke out as a pandemic."
Angry at the government's restrictions to contain the coronavirus, protesters in Senegal's second largest city burned an ambulance and health center meant to protect them from the outbreak. On Friday, President Macky Sall announced an extension of the state of emergency, including a curfew until the end of June. That decision led to demonstrations throughout the country. Many of those protesting are laborers unable to travel to the farmlands to plant seed ahead of the rainy season. In the southern city of Cap Skirring, police fire rubber bullets at protesters demanding action to address water and food shortages. And in downtown Dakar, the military was deployed to disperse an angry crowd of residents who are out of work.
A free man, Michael White, arrived in Zurich on his way home to the United States. The US Navy veteran had been held by Iran for almost 2 years.
I do want to extend my personal thanks to President Trump for his efforts, both diplomatically and otherwise. It's making America great again, and I look forward to what's going to happen here in the future.
White was released as part of a deal that saw Washington free American-Iranian scientist Cyrus Asghari, who's now back in Tehran. Iran's foreign minister tweeted that another Iranian-American, Majid Taheri, had also been released from US custody.
Negotiating with the Iranians is never a linear process. There's a lot of stops and starts. You have to be very patient. This is a regime that has been taking Americans hostage for 41 years.
$10,000 Australians. It's the project that creates the jobs, and the income limits we've put on. Please. Sure. Let's just move back from there.
Come on. Hey guys, I've just reseated that.
Yeah, please, off the thing.
Sorry, mate.
All good? That's all good. Thanks. So it's the projects that count. It's the projects that count.
A 14-year-old is recovering after being attacked by an alligator. Authorities say it happened in Florida when the teen was splashing around near the edge of a lake with his mom and dog nearby. The alligator reportedly bit him in the hand and foot, and he was flown to a hospital in Tampa, where he is being treated for a fractured leg. Florida wildlife authorities are using the opportunity to once again warn people that alligators are more active in the spring and summer.
When you are near or in any body of water in Florida, including sometimes salt water, there's a very good chance that alligators may be present. So you just need to make sure that you're vigilant and keeping a 360-degree awareness of your surroundings.
The gator was captured at the scene and measured close to 10 feet long. It was taken to a gator farm, but authorities don't know yet if it will be euthanized.